So after getting on the call with the docs in this coaching group, like we have 10 docs in the coaching group, I had one-on-one calls with each of them so I could learn their business intimately. Like I could really understand. That's something that I feel like no coaching group has ever done for me. Like not Andy Elliott, like not Tori, not Tim Young. None of these people have ever taken the time to truly understand my business, understand me as a person, and then see how they can coach me to my specific needs. So that was something that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to get to know each of them. And one reoccurring theme that I saw across every single doctor that I spoke to was they have this attachment to the yes. Like in their mind, they are so addicted to hearing people say yes to care that they're so attached to having a high conversion. And I realized I had that attachment as well. Like I was on a coaching call with Alex Hermosi, and he told me that being that my conversion is 92 to 95% every month, that lets me know that I am severely underpriced and that I should be 4 times the price that I'm currently charging. And that scares me. But he told me that I should 4x my price and that my conversion should be 40%. And that he made me like, think about it. Like if I was to 4x my price and 50% of people started to say no, or 60% of people started to say no, would I still be making more money? And of course, I would be making a lot more money. I would be doubling my practice. But we're so attached as chiropractors, as salespeople, as just business-minded people to that yes, that it's a hit to the ego when somebody says no to us. And it made me realize, like, this is a universal theme amongst chiropractors. Like, we want everybody to love our adjustment. We want everybody to love us as a person. We like over-explain what the person has going on so that they can respect us as a doctor. Like we have this inferiority complex being that we are chiropractors and our position in the medical profession. And we're like striving to be respected, striving to be loved, striving to be appreciated, that we're not giving honest recommendations to our patients. And what do I mean by that? The majority of the chiropractors I spoke to are recommending 6, 8, 12 visit care plans. Like this is insane. In what world could we ever help somebody in 6, 8, or 12 visits? Like I thought this was completely understood in the chiropractic profession that we don't chase pain. If you're prescribing 6, 8, or 12 visits, all you're doing is giving them a number of visits to get out of pain. Yes, I can get somebody out of pain in 2 weeks. Did I correct their issue? Is there structural change? No. So I did that person a disservice by giving them a watered down recommendation that I thought they would say yes to. I allowed my insecurities to write their care plan. This is like the number one thing that I've noticed that is holding chiropractors back. Like when I started in practice, I had that same insecurity. Mine was 18 visits. I had this fear of recommending more than $2,000. I did not want my care plan to be more than $2,000, so I recommended 18 visits. And at the end of those 18 visits, I had to take x-rays to show them the structural change I made on x-ray. And the fact is, there was minimal to no change on x-ray in 18 visits. So I almost ruined my reputation as a doctor, as a new doctor in this community, because I told this person that I could help them in 18 visits. I gave them my word that I can help them in 18 visits. And when they came in to take that x-ray, there was no change on x-ray. And after that happened to me 3, 4, 5 times, I realized that my word was more valuable to me than the insecurities that I had of people saying no. So I gave them honest recommendations from that point forward. I started to recommend 24. I started to recommend 36. I started to recommend 48 visit care plans. And I didn't care if that person signed up. Like, my job is not to figure out where you're going to find the money to invest in your health. My job is to give you an honest recommendation of what it is you need. I don't care if you work at Walmart. I don't care if you work at McDonald's. I don't care if you come in with beat up clothes. I don't care if you're homeless. I am going to give you an honest recommendation on what you need. I am going to treat you with the respect that you deserve, to look you in your eyes and tell you the care that you need. Like, understand, I grew up what most people would consider poor. And if my mother walked into the doctor's office and that doctor watered down his recommendations to what he thought that she can afford, how fucked up would that be? And I don't want to do that to anybody. Now, as chiropractors, if we simply doubled our recommendation from 12 to 24, we could double our practice. And not only double our practice, but we could be helping more people achieve health on a long-term basis. Now, if we take those 12 visits and we recommend 36 or 48, what are we doing to our collections in the office? What are we doing to our ability to impact more lives? This is what I'm starting to realize the more I speak to doctors. This is like, I almost forgot that this is something that I struggled with, because I was able to overcome it so fast through the embarrassment of taking x-rays and seeing the lack of change. If I didn't have x-rays, I probably would still be doing the same thing. The second thing that I noticed that is affecting most chiropractors, and I think this comes from schools and them being taught by failed chiropractors who are their professors. They shit on people like me, people that have high volume practices. They tell the students that there is no possible way that you could provide quality care in under a minute. That if you truly want to provide quality care, you should be spending 15 minutes with your patients. Now think about it. If you're spending 15 minutes with your patients and you're open, most chiropractors are open 6 hours, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. So that's 6 hours, 15 minutes per patient. That means 4 patients per hour, which means 24 patients per day. How could you possibly afford to keep your doors open seeing 24 patients a day? How much money would you have to charge each one of those patients to be able to spend 15 minutes with them? And that's if you have a full schedule. You're operating at 100% capacity. But don't you think people are going to no-show? People are going to cancel their appointments? People are going to be running late? In what world do we have a perfect schedule? So realistically, you're going to be seeing closer to 18 to 20 patients. Now, if you cut that down to 7 minutes, now you have the ability to see closer to 50 patients a day. And in my world, where I've always wanted to see 100 patients a day, you have to be sitting closer at 2 minutes. So if you are spending more than 2 minutes with each patient, that limits your ability to serve your community. And I view this as a vocation. Like, I view this as my duty to my community to be able to serve at the highest level. So this comes from Dr. Torrey. He says, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Obviously, there's patients that need 15-minute visits. That just won't happen here. I'd rather serve a massive amount of people and have a massive impact in my community. So I stay within those 2 minutes. If I spend more than 2 minutes, I am saying no to other patients. Because if I spend more time with this patient, that takes away from the time that I could possibly see more people that need the care that I provide. And think about it. We're talking about adjustments. Now, where do you fit those new patients in? Where do you fit those day 2 patients in? Where do you fit those re-exams in? Where do you fit those x-ray days in? You need to be able to move and operate with speed and precision. Now, what comes up next? Most people, when they open their office, don't have that kind of volume. So they create negative habits. When you have a negative habit, it means that you're talking too much. This is like pretty much everybody's negative habit. They're talking too much because they want to become friends with their patients. They want their patients to like them as a person. They want their patients to love them. So they go and they spend more time talking about non-chiropractic related things. So you start talking about sports. You start talking about kids. You start talking about life. You start talking about the weather. And you're taking away the focus from the healing. Which it doesn't seem like a problem in the beginning because you're not seeing volume. But what happens as your volume increases? You go from having these conversations on a daily basis to not being able to have these conversations because you're rushing to your next patient. And this patient has now become accustomed to you spending 15 minutes with them. But now you're cutting that time down to be able to serve the other patients in the office, and they begin to feel cheated. So the lesson that you learn from this is, even if your office is empty, always treat it as if you have a packed waiting room. Adjust invisible patients. Prepare yourself mentally to serve at the highest level. You adjust invisibles. This was talked about by our founding fathers. Like the people who founded this profession have been mentioning adjusting invisibles, like visualizing the person on the table, visualizing their names, connecting with them, adjusting them, and then moving from room to room, and creating those habits so that you prepare yourself mentally and physically for when you're serving 100 patients a day. If you correct these small things, you can double or even triple your practice, and double or even triple the impact you can have on your community.